Meanwhile, the African Democratic Congress ADC 2023 presidential candidate Dumebi Kachikwu said the faction of the party led by former Senate President David Mark was deliberately structured to produce former Vice President Atiku Abubakar as the 2027 presidential flag bearer. Speaking to journalists in Abuja, Kachikwu said the group told him during their meeting that their main interest was reclaiming power. He dared the coalition leaders to prove him wrong by publicly declaring that the 2027 presidential ticket would be zoned to the south. Dumebi accused Atiku, Obi, and their allies of hijacking the party and lacking the capacity to lead it.
Build something on nothing. Can you shave a man's hair in his absence? Can you enter a man's house through the back door and declare yourself the landlord? These yesterday's men who represent a bad chapter in Nigeria's past have bought bad markets from a man who represents a bad chapter in ADC's past. Nigerians have watched in amazement as this group of mostly geriatrics shopped around for a party to prosecute their chopping must continue ambition. This further cements the opinion most hold that political parties in Nigeria stand for nothing and will fall for anything. They have told us that they are fighting for the rights of ordinary Nigerians and that they are on a rescue mission. But what is confusing to the Nigerians they want to rescue is that these men, made up of a former vice president, former governors, ministers, and political office holders, are the same people who have presided over the affairs of this nation for the past 4 decades. We have absolutely nothing to show for their decades of leadership.
Joining us now to discuss this more is a PDP chieftain. We have in the studio Tokunbo Pearse. Sir, thank you so much for coming on. Appreciate you for doing this with us. I want to start by asking what the PDP's official stance on the emergence, of the ADC-led coalition gives. Does it give internal party divisions and defection? What does this mean? Where does the PDP stand in all of this?
Well, about 2 months ago, the Governors Forum of the PDP made it very clear that the PDP is not about to join any coalition. The PDP is a brand name. The PDP exists in every local government, in every ward, in every nook and corner of Nigeria. Therefore, we're not. But we are interested, this is what the PDP has said, that we are interested in everybody who wants to join the PDP and strengthen the PDP, but the PDP is not about to join any coalition. Immediate past presidential candidate, Alhaji Atiku, who is now with the coalition, has not been able to convince the party to go with him. So going into the coalition, it is Atiku going into the coalition and not the PDP.
Now, it's so, are you saying that the PDP has separated itself from Atiku entirely?
Everybody in the coalition is an individual. They come on their own. This is very different from what happened in 2015 when the APC was formed. APC was formed and it succeeded principally because it brought 2 powerful political parties together, not individuals.
Yes.
Buhari brought about 12 million votes from CPC into the coalition. And it was joined by Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who had full control of the ACN at the time,
yes.
Southwest. So the combination now gave them a national spread. None of them had it. At this point in time, PDP has a national spread. That's why we don't need a coalition. If anybody wants to join us, strengthen us, that's good. We didn't separate ourselves from Atiku. Atiku separated himself from the party and gone to join the ADC. So there is no problem. Let's see how the ADC survives.
What happens to his membership then?
It depends on him. I don't know what the official situation is. I know that Obi is having problems now with the Labour. They told him to either resign from the Labour Party or eventually he'll be dismissed from the Labour Party. So Let's see what happens to Atiku. You can talk, you can say anything you want to say. After all, Wike says he's a member of PDP,
right.
But actions speak louder than words. You cannot be in two political parties at the same time, officially and legally. But you can claim to be in 10 political parties. That's your business. But actions speak louder than words.
Now, ahead of 2027, one of the major conversations that has been at the political fore is zoning, and that all of the presidential candidates, especially for PDP, has refused to zone to the south because Atiku has claimed the presidential ticket for two times now, or more than, 4 times at this point. And so it begs to ask the question, now that Atiku has aligned with the ADC, what happens to the presidential ticket? Who are you thinking that the party would push that ticket to? And would it go to the south?
The party, the PDP, doesn't give the ticket to anybody. We zone our presidential ticket based on the zoning that has happened months before in the election of our national chairman. According to our constitution, if the national chairman who will be elected, for instance, I believe in this August, this year, it comes from the north, then we expect that the presidential ticket will go to the south. So we are waiting. We are not going to announce, the PDP will not announce that the ticket is going this way or that way. That is undemocratic. That is irresponsible and reckless of a political party in a democracy to just unilaterally announce that somebody did. That's the problem that Tinubu is going to have. Without any competition, without a convention, they've declared him the presidential candidate. It is so wrong. The same thing happening to Obi now. That is why the ADC is likely collapse. Obi is going in there saying, I will do 1 term as presidential. And now you have Atiku who wants to be president. We don't know. PDP will not have that problem. We're having our tensions now because we are going through the process in a legal way, in a democratic way. Once we elect a national chairman from the north, which we expect to happen in our next convention, reason being that the last chairman, Dr. Ayu, did not complete his term. So democratically, normally, and in fairness, equity, the North should have the position of national chairman to complete that term. If that happens, we expect that the presidential ticket will go to the South after we have had a convention and somebody emerges from that convention as a nominee.
Pending that convention, you were talking about, appointments of presidential candidates of political parties and saying that it is a democracy and so everyone has a fair chance in terms of equity and inclusivity. But we saw the fallout that happened in 2023 and 2022 with Wike, which has now become this juggernaut where his loyalty is being very vocal about where his loyalty lies, and is somewhat of, I wouldn't say drive division, but it appears to seem that he feels division within the party. And so one has to ask, heading towards 2027, does PDP have their ducks in a row ahead of that national convention?
The PDP made a monumental mistake in 2023. The Constitution says that if a northerner is the national chairman, automatically the presidential candidate will come from the South. What happened in 2023 was that when we had our election for the national chairman, Dr. Ayu emerged from North Central. He agreed, it's on video, it's on record, that he would step down if a northerner emerges as the presidential candidate of the party. He refused to step down. That's what happened, which Wike and the other members of the Governors Forum were angry about.
Yes.
They had a legitimate reason. However, I was one of the spokespersons for Atiku because my position was, if you sold the ticket, the forms, nomination form, form of intention, you sold it to this person, you made it open, so anybody could buy the form. Once they bought the form, they were qualified to run. You shouldn't have sold the form and then wait for the man to go and buy the file and run the election and win the primaries, and then you say he should step down? No. Wike didn't say Atiku should step down. But are you, who has said on record that he will step down, did not step down? That's what caused the problem. So now I think what the party will do, which is my advice, it's always been my position that have it in writing, make it a legal document that indeed if the Northerner is elected as the national chairman, you, the Northerner, who is sitting as the elected national chairman, will step down. Make it legal so that we won't have the problem we had in 2023.
PDP has gotten hit massively in the last 6 months with the defections. You have lost your stronghold in the South-South, Delta, Akwa Ibom, and the other states. And now the APC has become somewhat of a juggernaut. Now with the exit of one of the prominent figures in your party moving to his alliance to the ADC, does the PDP stand a chance? Does the ADC stand a chance? Because the ADC has big names at this point. There's David Mark, there's Amechi Rotimi, there's Obi and his obedient army, there's also now Atiku Abubakar. Does the PDP stand a chance even against the ADC?
First and foremost, you said there's been mass defection, and we have lost our stronghold in the South-South. We have lost big names in the South-South, but we have not lost our membership in the South-South. We have not lost the South-South. We have not, listen.
Yeah, sure.
In Delta State, Okowa crossed over to APC. So did the governor. However, when Okowa and the governor went to announce to the people, the members of the party, PDP, that they're going to APC, what did the people say? The people say, you're on your own, go on your own. Same thing happened in Akwa Ibom. Therefore, Nigerians understand that this is not an election for the leaders, for people who have eaten and overbloated. It is their own destiny that's at stake. Quality of life, employment, improvement in education, the health system, the economy, security. These are the issues that we have to deal with. So these leaders are crossing because they have something to hide. They have their own personal reasons. Okowa was under pressure. You said he had embezzled 1.3 trillion he had to announce. So on the pressure of that, he was coerced into going into APC. The same thing with Akwa Ibom and everywhere else. So therefore, the issue is clear. Our people are ready, members of the PDP, and even non-members of the PDP, Nigerian voters are ready for a change, a real change, and the real change can come from the opposition party that is grounded, not the ADC. Look at these ADC people. Kachikwu has actually categorized them. These are geriatric, retired, tired people. Take each of them. None of them has a political party that they can bring. You said the only people that have anything whatsoever, maybe 10% or 20% of their party are Atiku, will bring about 10% of PDP. Obi will bring about 30% of Labour. The obedient party and the Atiku faction, they're going to clash now for who will be the president. Therefore, the whole ADC agenda is collapsed before it started. That is one. Number two, I heard Kachikwu recently saying that these people, all of them, from David Mark all the way to Arebeshola, who gave them the membership of the party? They're not even members of ADC as we speak now, because their membership is under contention. You can only run for office in ADC by their constitution if you've been there for 2 years. These people have come there for 2 days and they want to run for president. It's not going to work. That's number one. Number two, who gave them the membership? It is a suspended national chairman that told them that they are members of the ADC. So all of this is in contention. Right. The ADC will not survive. Obi's people will not allow him to go and be vice president in a ramshackle organization with all these hungry people. What is Amechi going to do for anybody in Nigeria? Or El-Rufai, they don't have a record. Very bad record, dangerous individuals, hungry, tired, shameless old men that should go in retirement After all they have done, you know why David Mark is so determined to go to it? What is he looking for? He tried to be national chairman of PDP. You know, he's from North Central.
Yes, I do.
He wants to contest in this coming August convention for national chairman of PDP. He has seen the light that he feels that it's not going to work. He's not going to get the ticket, so he switches. The same thing with Atiku. He's been hoping that he'll get a ticket
again.
The political climate in PDP now,
it's
and the nation,
like he may not get
is that he's not likely to get it. So he's gone somewhere else for another one.
All right.
You run from here to there, from pillar to post, they're not going anywhere.
Well,
PDP is the only viable opposition to APC in Nigeria today. And therefore, what people like Atiku should have done was stay in PDP, help PDP strengthen itself, get united more and more, get ready to take power. If that's really what you want to save Nigeria, you should be helping PDP, not run away from PDP. Every time there's a problem, Atiku runs away.
All right, I wish there's enough time for us to get into it. But sir, I must say thank you for taking out the time to join us. APDP chieftain Tokunbo Pearse, Mr. Tokunbo Pearse joined us here on the News Belt. Let's go to a short break, shall we? When we return, it's DR Congo coming up.